The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Shut up and sit down.
Let it out.
Pretzels are making me thirsty. That's better.
Welcome everyone to Red Sox Racing League. We are live here from Brands Hatch, Indy, and we're going to take you down to where we are live via Google Earth as we get set to go racing here. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a wild one. This track very fast, very different compared to a lot of the other tracks that we go to. I think this place only has like maybe like 7 turns, I believe is what it is. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Here we are zooming in. You can see what Brands Hatch looks like from above. Of course, this is the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, so it is a shorter part of the bigger track that they have here. But nonetheless, this should be a great race, a very fun race, as we are here for the Red Sox Racing Series. I believe this is race number 3 now on the board. I'll have to get everything up because I'm a little bit behind tonight, where I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. But as I mentioned, you're looking down at Brands Hatch. This track only, I'm trying to actually find my track map. I had it up. I'm very new to this track, so it's going to take me a little bit to get used to it here, but it's okay. As we do that, we'll get ready to go racing here around this famous track. We got about, how many cars we got? 19 cars, which is actually quite a bit. I actually was kind of surprised by that, to be completely honest. I didn't know how many guys we'd actually have show up to this one, but we got quite a bit here for this event. And coming into tonight, these guys have practiced this race for a couple nights now. Right now, Tommy Ryan on top of the board, and I was actually trying to find the current championship standings, and it appears that I cannot find them at the moment. It might take me just a second to get them. For guys that have not watched the Red Sox Racing Series, this is a great series. I'm going to be honest. It should be a very fun race, and it's usually a wild race. It always usually comes down to pit stops and stuff like that, where we see just everything in general happens usually at these places. This is run number 2, by the way, of the GTE Challenge Series. If you don't know about Red Sox Racing League, a little bit about it, this is one of the oldest series around. To be honest, it's been around now for 10 years, all within iRacing. Of course, formerly the owner of the Red Sox Racing Series was John Henry, the owner of the Boston Red Sox, hence the name Red Sox Racing Series. Qualifying about to begin. This is 15-minute qualifying, in case you are wondering. They did have a practice here the other night. Like I mentioned, David Berry was the fastest, and currently right now, I don't know where he's actually at, 10th place right now on the board. So we're getting ready to go racing as we are set to go here in just a moment. And qualifying is officially about to open up, and we will wait on that. And as soon as it does, we'll pop over to our qualifying grid. As you see the checker flag waving, Qualifying, set to begin. Who's it going to be? First one to roll out, Terry Dahl here in the number 53 BMW GTE. See him working through right here, turn 1. Alrighty. So qualifying underway here. So I was trying to make sure I got all my track map and stuff like that up, and I still haven't actually got it, but it's okay. We'll get it. You see how quick Terry is beginning his fast time here, so that goes to show you how quick this place actually does go around. It does not take long at all. We can actually even hop on board here and ride with the driver of the 53 car. You see how quick this place actually is. It does not take long at all to run around this place. "13 minutes still remaining qualifying." Terry working up. He's going to be the first one putting on a fast lap. There he goes, 42.884 for him, and actually jumping back to second, so we can jump back a little bit further. Here's Dave Hill, the number 13 car. He puts down a 42.730. Les Turner also here. Let's watch Les as he works through first couple turns here. That Red Sox slash Toronto Blue Jays car. So I was watching practice earlier. One thing I noticed, some guys was having a little bit of trouble on these runoffs. It's a lot different track to what we're normally used to. There's not a lot of room here. You can see it right here. The track not very wide, so you got to be really careful going side by side. So that's one thing that these guys are going to be watching here. As Terry or Les going across the lap of 43.157. Currently moving him up to the 10th spot. Here's Mark Todrowski. Currently 17th, but of course hasn't put down a fast lap yet. This course, as I mentioned, only got really 6 turns around this place. Not very many. This is 30 miles southeast of London, this track. So it is one of the one of the famous tracks here in London, or there in London. Usually hosts a ton of IndyCar races. As you see Mark cross the start-finish line, definitely need a little bit better lap than that. Jump up to David Berry. Remember, he was fastest the other night in practice, as I mentioned. This IndyCar, by the way, or not IndyCar, this, David Berry goes around. This circuit that we're racing on here tonight, if we look at Mark Wilson, is only 1.1 miles. So that goes to show you why they are running such quick times. And I'm interested because these guys have not been to this short of a track all season. So it changes things up quite a bit compared to what they're used to. I mean, if you go look at their schedule compared to what they've been racing, they just came off Road America. We did have a bye week last week, so we're kind of getting back in the swing of things now. But Brands Hatch here, one of the smallest tracks we go to, actually is the smallest track we go to all season long. Next week, we go to Sebring. That's going to be a fun one. And then Donington National will be over there as well. Oh, I apologize, guys. I popped that up. Here, grab something real fast. Qualifying still underway. Still watching Mark Wilson right now. 42.865. Also, we need to really go over and watch Tommy Ryan. He was the fastest in practice. That's what we're going to do right now. Right up here in that Patriot Fire Ferrari. Currently fourth at the moment. Let's see if he improves this time. Or not. Hopefully he's able to jump up a little bit. You see Tommy actually coming up hits. This is actually probably just to lower the gas mileage and all that good stuff. So we'll jump over to someone else here. Let's jump over to, let's jump up to Ross Booth. He is currently second right now. Fast lap of a 42.436. So that's who we're going to be watching right now. And I apologize, guys. I'm not really talking a ton right now. I'm trying to make sure I got everything set up right. So it's hard to do two things at once. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Make sure it's all set up. Ross Booth currently trying to beat Brian. I don't know a lot about Brian. Stroudbeck, I believe is how you say his last name. I don't know too much about him, to be completely honest. He's kind of new here to me anyway. He's new. And I want to go ahead and mention, guys, that over on Facebook, we are broadcasting over there as well. And we are going commercial free all night tonight here on both. So, welcome to the people that go on Facebook. I actually had to do something, so that's why I was a little bit behind. I actually did not have everything set up for the Facebook broadcast like I thought I did. Because we're actually broadcasting two different races over there tonight. Both live. There we go. That's what we're doing. So Ross still trying to gain a little bit of traction. Here's Terry Dahl back here again at him. Here he comes. Across the start finish line. 43.264. Definitely going to need a little bit more than that. And we'll be watching him. Let's actually go right on board. Got about 6 minutes left here in qualifying. Before we go over there. Of course, we are live on Facebook as well, guys. We got actually two broadcasts running on our Facebook tonight. Sam Cooper Bennett broadcasting a new league. So welcome to the ESPN broadcast, guys, for the Super Late Model Series over there. I believe it's the War Super Late Model Series, I believe is what it's called. I could be wrong about the name. It's the All Out Esports. There we go. That is the name of it. Here is Terry right now working through a couple of these corners. Still got about 5 minutes left. He did put down a 5.68, a little bit off his time. He just got knocked back by David Berry, who jumps up to 5th. Let's see if he can improve here on this lap or not. And of course, guys, we are live over on Facebook. Sam Cooper Bennett got his broadcast as well going on over there. It's pretty awesome because we actually was kind of worried. I didn't think I'd actually be able to go live, so I'm actually using two of my broadcast software, which is a little bit different what we normally do. It's kind of unconventional, but it works. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty cool to do. A little bit different. Here is John Kashuniak, currently running in ninth spot of a best lap of a 42 768. Let's see if he can improve it. I'll try to zoom in a little bit tonight, guys. That way, as he goes around, that's not a good time. But I'll try to zoom in a little bit on tonight here on the cameras. That way you guys can see a little bit more of the cars and all that stuff. So that's kind of what we're doing with that. I hope it lets you all see it a little bit better. Christopher crossing the start-finish line. His is a 43.241. He is starting his fast lap this time. Currently 12th. Keep in mind we got 19 drivers in this race tonight. And that's quite a bit of cars for this small of a track. Remember, only 42-second laps. These guys are going to be dealing with a lot of lap traffic as this race continues. That is one thing that everybody's kind of worried about a little bit. And yeah, Sebring, Kevin Rydell said, is a great track. It is a fun track. I'm not the greatest at Sebring. It's you know, there is a lot of elevation changes, honestly, which is a good thing, I guess. It's a completely flat track for the most part. But man, I like it. It's fun. It's something different. Of course, it's on an old airfield, which is always cool. And I want to go ahead and talk about pit road here as well. Pit road speed 45 miles an hour for these guys here tonight. They do have to pit one time. We was talking about how many laps we think they're going to be able to do. Remember, this is only a 30-minute time race. And we don't know exactly how many laps you could do in this race. And you can see the sun is setting. It's pretty late here in the evening. I don't know if we're going to get the dark or not. But it's pretty late here. Watching Ross right now running into third position, trying to go to the top of the board. And qualifying is about coming to an end. And I did not even see it. Ross Booth did jump up to the top of the board, a 42.102. So a great lap for there. And I was checking comments and all that stuff over on Facebook and all that. Here's David Barry working through the get ready to cross the start finish line. Let's see if he moves up. A 42.541, and he almost beats his lap, just a 200th of a thousandth of a second off. Actually, 100,000th of a second. He actually drops back as it looks like Kashuniak may have moved up into fifth right now. He did. Back here, you see some guys still back here, and some of the further guys back right now. Actually, guys, we got more people coming into this race. I am seeing actually 21 people now, as we are watching Robert here in that 199 car. It's maybe the first time the ESPN has done two broadcasts on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So that's pretty cool. That's something different that we've never done. So that's pretty interesting to see that. It's pretty cool to see. Anyway, got about 16 seconds here left in qualifying before the race begins. Right now, you see Ross Booth on top of the board, 42 seconds. It's a 30-minute timed race, and we are about to do that right here in just a moment. Also, guys, I want to mention, right after this race, immediately after, about 10 minutes later, we're going to be doing the Strictly Street Stock Series. So that's going to be fun. As we watch Robert see if he can improve his lap time here. He does get a chance to finish this, even though there's 53 seconds left here in qualifying. Let's see if he does it. He hasn't put down a lap yet, so he's definitely going to improve. It's just what will it be to, as he is driving the Porsche here tonight. Coming through the final turn, which is turn 6, I do believe. Coming to the start-finish line. Does he improve? I'm seeing 43.668. Not a bad lap, to be honest, but it only puts him up to 15th. Better than I could do, that's for sure. Here is Rudy, and I don't think his lap's going to count. We'll wait and see. Coming to the start-finish line, and yeah, you can see he just shuts the car off. Rudy Avalon shutting the car off there. I believe Tommy has shut the car off as well. Yep, that's going to be qualifying. So Tommy Ryan not starting on top of the board. As also David Shutt not in here tonight that I don't see. That's interesting. Of course, I believe David Shutt is your current points leader, but not here tonight. As we are set to go racing here for Brands Hatch. And we're going to look here at your grid. And I don't think Ross is in the Discord, so we're not going to be able to talk to him off the top of the poll, but that's okay. So, row 1, there you go. Row number 2, we got Tommy Ryan, Dave Hill. Row 3, we got John Kashuniak, David Berry. Row 4, Terry Dahl, Mark Wilson. Reed Rundle and Les Turner starting in 10th tonight. Not a bad qualifying effort there. Christopher and Bill Palecki starting in row 6. Row number 7, we got James Prostout and William Cabela. Robert Kanikin, is that how you say his last name? Probably not. I butcher stuff. Mark Kedrowski. Ed Sutcliffe. Bertel Surface. Rudy Avalon. Jason rolling off there in row 10. And in the 21st, Mark Allen. So we are set to go green this time. We're going to have to take a trip around, of course. We are waiting for the rest of the field to grid up. So let me know your picks. Who gets the win here tonight at the famous Brands Hatch of Indy. We are set to roll. Here we go. There's a look at your pole sitter, by the way. Okay, his car, Gorilla Glue on the front of that. That is the Ferrari as well. Love that car. Probably my favorite car as far as road cars go. Just my opinion anyway. Anyway, the Porsche pace car is set to roll off right about now. And we did have almost everybody grid up. Some cars elected to start from the pits, it looks like. So, looks like 2 cars have elected to do that. Turn 1 is going to be very interesting. That's a Porsche right there on the outside, by the way, in case you are wondering. That is the Porsche, correct? Yes. Set to go green. Got to go around here just a couple more times. We'll wait for the pace car to drop off. Here's a look high above in the blimp, looking down at some of the cars. Pace car dropping off the circuit. And we are, Red Sox Racing League is officially green flag here from Brands Hatch Indy. Race number 2 for Series E is underway as we go down into turn number 1. It is going to get crazy as we watch them drive down into turn 1. We're going to continue to kind of watch all throughout the field a little bit here. Everybody making it through, it looks like, it appears. How about this stack up right here, right at your screen? That's Mark Allen right there, that Patriot Fire car. Jump back up for the lead as you see Ross Booth kind of extending just a little bit here, about 4 or 5 car lengths. Just Reed Rundle right here working right behind Mark Wilson for the 8th spot, looking to the outside, not going to be able to get it. This is a good way possibly to dive back to the inside. I say we'll complete lap 1, and Ross Booth will be your lap 1 leader As here we go, Reed Rundle trying to take that spot away. We got Ed Sutcliffe on pit road, and he is, I'm not sure. I believe he is out of the race. Not sure what happened there, but he is out of the race, it looks like. On board now with Reed Rundle, kind of looking back. You can also see that car right there coming up, that BMW. That is Christopher in the 72 trying to get a run. This is for 9th spot. Reed, of course, running that Porsche here tonight. Everybody kind of getting a little bit spaced out a little bit here. Of course, it don't take long for mistakes start to happen, and anything can change at any moment. We've seen some cars go around and practice quite a bit. Here is the battle for second. Tommy Ryan and Brian Stroudberg. Les Turner back here in 12th trying to run down Robert up in the 199 car. So the name Boston Red Sox Racing League, in case anybody was wondering, came from the owner of the Boston Red Sox, John Henry, who is one of the founders of this league. That is where the name came from. And it's stuck around for quite a while now, 10 years. This league has been around. This is one of the oldest leagues on iRacing. Here's John Koshilniak that you see of Terry Dawes trying to run down. That is for 5th. As you see the number 04 car trying to hold off that other BMW right behind him. Here they go, starting to work up the hill into the final turn. Track a lot different than we experienced so far this year, or this season. It only takes 42 seconds to go around this place. I was a little bit curious on what the times would be as far as pit stops and the race pace and all that, and they're running 42 6s. It's pretty good. I love this car right here, Robert's car. Oh, who is that off the track? That is Christopher in the 72. Went off the track, not sure how. Did he go too wide or did he just lock him up? Christopher Jimenez, I believe is how you say his last name, going in. Looked like he got back on the gas just a little bit too early, and around he went, and there's your contact right there. That was pretty hard contact. I actually did not see the contact initially. I'm not sure who it was that actually hit him as well. Might take me a minute to find this damage. Bear with me. Right there, that was Robert's car. It looks like that got that damage. Out of Canada. So he's in 10th, but a little bit of damage on that car, that Porsche. Mark Wilson trying to run down David Berry into turn 1. Got that Dodgers car tonight. Looking around right now, trying to find the closest battle on track. We got to jump back. Actually, got to jump forward. Right here, Dave Hill trying to work up to Tommy Ryan. This is a big pass if he's able to make it a little bit off track there. Went into the gravel just a little bit. And for you guys that might be new to following this series, last season we had one heck of a championship battle between Tommy Ryan and David Shutt. And it came down to the final race of the season. And what looked like Tommy Ryan, after he got the win, had a penalty, and they actually lost the championship by 1 point. So he's trying to rebound here tonight, as he's starting to work on second right now, Brian. But he's trying to rebound here this season. He's a great competitor. He tries really hard and usually does succeed pretty well in here in that Ferrari. That's been a car he's pretty much stuck with since I started broadcasting anyway. Of course, looking at some of these pictures right now, I'm trying to actually make sure of something real fast. I apologize. I want to mention that Dave Hill, we've seen just a second ago, is back here in fourth, was the winner last time we raced at Road America. David Hill, David Shutt, Mark Wilson, John Kashuniak, and Tommy Ryan finished in fifth in that one. And you can see that runoff area. We've seen some cars wrecking there earlier just by going too wide. Right there. And what happened to Bertel? It looks like he has had a problem. See if we can see what happened. Oh, here we go. That Porsche went around, and I believe it actually entered his knot as well. Off track and in the grass, head on into the steel barrier. And there you see that Porsche, and then he just towed. So, unfortunately for him, I'm going to end his knot here. And you can see how crazy this track is. We got cars all over the place, and it's not long. One thing about this track, it does not take long to get into lap traffic. And to me, that's where races could be won or lost, is we got another car actually on pit road. Is this scheduled? A little bit of damage. This is Mark Kudrowski. Looks scheduled. I don't see anything. Unfortunately, I'm not real sure. Right now, the Gorilla Glue, the 6 of Ross Booth, currently still leading this race. He's been out front for a while now. Looking throughout the field, really everybody's somewhat spaced out at the moment. We do want to mention that Mark Allen has been on pit road, or he is on pit road right now. I'm wondering if this is scheduled. We know that guys have to make a one-time stop, so I think we may be seeing. I think his is something else because he's actually spending some time there. Once again, let's see. Oh, the car looks fine. I don't really know. Mark Wilson, David Berry is right here for 7th place. Let me know your thoughts right now. Who's going to get the win in this race tonight? Will it be Ross Booth? And we've seen some crazy stuff happen in these races. That where the leader that might be out front dominating, unfortunately, does not do well once the pit stops happen. It's very easy to make pit road mistakes, maybe misjudge something, especially on a place like this where everything happens a lot faster than normal because this track is a lot shorter than what we have been to. Keep in mind, next week we go to Sebring, so this race right here is really interesting. As far as some of the guys that's running and where they're running out, like Ross Booth right now, who's out front. And as I mentioned about a few moments ago, didn't win last week, but up front right now has been leading out front for every lap so far, 14 completed laps. So he's done a great job so far here tonight. I don't even know exactly off the top of my head where he finished last week. Thinking about it, I'm not real sure exactly where he finished. Jump back up to the leader just for a moment. Ross Booth working into turn number 5 and 6, or about to. There we go. So I was a little bit curious when we actually have the sun go all the way down. I don't know if we're going to, or I don't think it's going to be all the way down. You see the sun is setting here. As you look back, you can see Brian way back there, 1.8 seconds back, making that about 2 seconds back. Dave Hill puts pressure on Tommy Ryan. So it's been extremely difficult to pass. That's one thing I've noticed compared to some of the other races. And I mentioned that it might be a little bit tough. This track not very wide, so it's a lot tougher. You basically have to wait for someone to make a mistake in front of you. At the moment, by the way, we still have 16 cars out on the track. Dave Hill still putting some pressure on Tommy Ryan. Get a look at your race summary so far. Nothing really to say. 17 laps completed. 0 lead changes. As Dave Hill's going to try to get a run right here. See if we can hop on board here. You are riding on board with last week's winner. Putting some pressure on last season's runner-up finisher in the championship. Oh, what happened here? James Prostel Jr. is around. See if we can see what happened to James. Loves the car, by the way. So this right here is the turn I've seen even in practice. A lot of guys just running too wide into it, going off track, getting the grass, and around to go. And that's exactly what he did. Locks it up, sliding, and does a good job of actually keeping the car out of the wall. As I've seen somebody else running going around. And there's Christopher. You see that without the hood on the car. Fortunately for him, but still running on the lead lap right now. Can't complain too much about that, I guess. I'm sure he'd rather be up a little bit further with no damage, but you know. Still back here battling for third, by the way. Once again, guys, right after this, we will be live for the Strictly Street Stock series. Also, on our same channel, Sam Cooper Bennett broadcasting the All Out Esports Super Late Model Series. I'm interested to watch that broadcast when I get a chance to watch Sam do that, because he's kind of, I don't want to say new to broadcasting oval, because everybody knows that he's not. I'm really interested to watch him broadcast or watch him call the Super Late Model Series. He's kind of unfamiliar with it a little bit, so it's really cool. Them guys over there racing at Richmond, very fun track to watch a Super Late Model race on. I think I'm having more fun though. I'm gonna be honest. I think we do a lot of ovals anyway, and I love throwing a road race in the mix. And this right here gives me my road racing fix. Usually we have some great finishes in here as well. It's a good battle right here though. This lap car right here slowing down a little bit. This Les Turner we're watching right now in 10th, trying to figure out a way to get around. Who is that? Cannot tell if somebody is that 72, I believe. No, it's 72. Maybe it's Mark Allen. The 944, so it is Mark Kudrowski. So Les has to figure out a way to get around him. And of course, this right here is where things kind of get tricky when it comes to basically any type of general racing. It does not matter if it's oval or road. One thing they have in common is traffic. That is, lap cars can actually kill you quite a bit. I mean, let's just be honest. It can cost you spots. It can do a lot of things. And I'm surprised Les not flashing the lights right now. As we hop on board real quick. See him backing up that turn just a little bit. Watch for him to get a really good run out. Oh, he might be coming to pit road. He is. We're at halfway. Pit stops underway. He's not the only one. It looks like Mark Wilson has been on pit road as well. So now the question is going to be, when will our leader pit? Right here's where things kind of start getting interesting. As Les Turner, as I mentioned, on pit road. Solid stop there for him. About 26 seconds, 27 seconds on pit road. 27 seconds total on pit road. It's actually a little bit slow on pit road as far as Mark Wilson and the rest of them guys. Mark had a really good pit stop. 22 seconds total time on pit road. Ross Booth starting to work up on the 72 of Christopher Jimenez. Or Jimenez, sorry. And that Gorilla Glue Ferrari. David Berry on pit road. So I'm going to be watching, one thing I'm watching mainly is to see how long it takes pit stops to be done compared to some of these other guys that, you know, might be chasing some of these top guys. David Berry, a great stop there. He had 23 seconds total. James Prosto Jr. on pit road as well. See if anybody else inside the top 10 comes down this time. Appears not yet anyway. From what I'm seeing. 72 giving plenty of room right there to Ross Booth. So one thing I'm starting to notice is some of these guys up front, I'm wondering if they're waiting until they get right on the borderline of being empty on gas before we see the guys come down and take a splash. Maybe they can push this quite a bit. And that way you don't have to fill your car completely up. And you see as Ross goes around it again. So no pit stop this time. And I mentioned David Berry. We've seen him actually come down pit road. Currently in the 10th spot after the pit stop. Reed Rundle coming down pit road. That is a top 10 car. Pitting from 7th place. We'll see where all he shapes up at once pit road's done for him. Kind of a slow pit stop, honestly, for Reed Rundle. 24 seconds on pit road. Now 8.9 second stop. Les Turner also on pit road. So we're keeping an eye as we start to see some of these guys starting to hit pit road quite a bit now. .28 laps are in the book, and Ross Booth continuing to lead the way. He's been out front for 28 of the laps that have been completed. Everybody really spaced out right now. Christopher Jimenez coming down pit road as well. I actually thought that we would have a lot more trouble than what we honestly have. We haven't had that much issues, which is kind of surprising, I think, in a way. I think a lot of cars, or a lot of guys thought that with this track being so short, it would be a lot of wrecks. And honestly, these guys showing why they're really good, because we do not have that here tonight anyway. Which is awesome. That's great racing. Terry Dahl on pit road as well. Bill Palucky on pit road. Terry Dahl down and away, a solid stop there. 23.1, not bad at all. Remember we was talking about Reed Rundle. His pit stop currently showing in the 10th position as Bill Palucky is on pit road like I mentioned. Here comes Dave Hill down pit road. Let's keep an eye on him for a minute. These pit stops are usually the make or break of your race. He slides quite a bit, taking his quick repair. A little bit of damage he had down and away. And that's a great stop, 4.7 seconds. So he's going to be trying to gain some track position by a quick pit stop. He's actually going to exit pit road, holding on to 5th place. Not bad at all for Dave Hill. Great stop there. Ross staying out. Brian looks like he's coming out pit roads. We'll watch him here as well. 2nd place in that Porsche coming down. Sliding into his box. Actually, a little bit. Didn't really slide too much. Down and away he goes. 6 seconds. Dave Hill a little bit faster on pit road. Actually gained about a second total time on Brian that time, but still going to be behind him. Right there's Dave Hill. So we're waiting for now. We got 4 cars that have it pitted. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th. Have yet to hit pit road. Tommy coming down pit road. John Kishilniak. We'll be watching him as well. See if he hits. Here comes Tommy. And Kishilniak staying out. It looks like. No, he's going to hit pit road as well. So now we're down to 2 cars that have not pitted. Here's Tommy Ryan on pit road. Down and away. Great stop there for Tommy Ryan. Kishilniak sliding in. Tommy with a great pit stop. That's the fastest of the night, 20.7 on the 6th car. And a great pit stop there for Kishuniak as well, 22 seconds. Now we're down to 1 car. Now this is the final car coming in. Ross Booth, your leader, coming down pit road. No mistakes can happen here. This right here is where races are usually won and lost. And you see right there, 1 car sitting on pit road. That was looks like the 199 car. A little bit slow on pit road. And we'll try to get a replay of that here in just a moment. There's Ross Booth waiting on the way. Solid stop there for him. So what happened here? He took his quick repair. And he stomps the gas. Too much wheel in it. Yep, ready to go. Just get the damage fixed. And unfortunately, you're meant to have damage tonight. Unfortunately, Robert, because that is just like horrible luck. There you see Ross Booth flashing the lights, letting people know he is there. We continue to watch our leader right now getting around some of this lap traffic. Now Brian has to do the same. You see the cars pulling over a little bit. Just slow it down, letting him go. Now he's got to do the same thing here with Robert. And Robert right now not really wanting to move too much. Which of course, he is actually racing Bill Palucky who comes down pit road. You see the lights flashing back there. As Brian is going to go around, try to. Making it tough for him, that's for sure. It was a little wide, now he slows down to let him go. Tommy Ryan right now riding behind William Cabela, who slows down. Dave Hill right behind him. Jump back a little bit. David Berry, John Kishilniak is his 4th position for 5th. One of the closest battles we have right now. Kishilniak started in 5th, and that's where he runs. And of course, David Berry right behind him started in 6th, and that's where he runs. So that goes to show you passing here very difficult tonight. Oh, no! Oh, man, really? John Kishuniak just got killed by a lap car, and that ends his night. Oh, I would be furious right now. Oh, my goodness. Robert and the 199 just backed straight up into the middle of traffic. Oh, my gosh. That is absolutely crazy. And it was like, I'm not trying to be mean, but he was 2 laps down already. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. And he like waited before he backed up, and then unfortunately, Kishuniak had nowhere to go. I mean, we could ride on board with this. And you can see what John Kishuniak's seen. That is absolutely crazy. Oh my gosh. Nowhere to go, unfortunately, for him. Woo, I bet there's some hot heads now. Well, that might be one of the craziest things we've seen in this series for a while. So now we are down to only 8 drivers here on the lead lap. We are down to 3 to go. And once again, everything's somewhat spaced out. Terry Dahl's trying to close in this gap on David Berry, trying to use some of that slipstream down the straightaway. Or some of that draft, or whatever you want to call it. The 53 running in 6th right now. Terry working out that, and we are on 2 to go. Everything kind of spaced out with the exception of Terry Dahl trying to grab 5th right now. Who's a little bit, about 6/10 right now behind David Berry. Coming to the white flag though, this time. Ross Booth dominant here tonight. Gonna leave 41 laps. He has to do it at least one more time. That was the last lap, right? Maybe not. Thought it was. Thought he was coming to the white flag. It said 2 to go. Keep in mind this is a time race, so it kind of changes a little bit as the race goes on. Yeah, it is the final lap. There it goes. It's just now official. We had to wait for everybody to cross the finish line. So Ross Booth on the final lap. It would appear, unless it changes. Coming to the start finish line. Ross Booth going to try to get the win here. Winner for Brands Hatch is the 6 in a dominating performance. Good run for him. Jump back real fast a little bit. Terry Dahl trying to grab 5th away, and unfortunately don't think he's going to be able to grab it. Well, there's your winner. As you see, these guys have to work to the start-finish line. They have to work all the way back around in order to get maximum points. If you do not make it all the way back around, it's about, I think it's a 4-point penalty, which is big. So, Ross Booth finishes 1st. Brian Straubeck finishes in 2nd. Tommy Ryan finishes in 3rd. And you see your leader coming down pit road here. And a win he will take. I'm going to try to get an interview or so, if we can. Have to wait for everybody to arrive. She does donuts here on in the pit lane area. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's something different. That's okay though. You can do it all you want. Look real fast at your results. There you go. You see some cars finishing up here. For tonight's round 2, Series E, Ross, Brian, and Tommy finished third. First, second, third. Dave Hill, David Berry, Terry Dahl, another good run. Mark Wilson, a solid run there. Reed Rundle, James Prostell managed to come back after his spin and finish ninth. Christopher Jimenez, Bill Paul Lucky, Mark Kudrowski, William Cabela, John Kashuniak. That's unfortunate for John. And Robert finishes in 15th. Les Turner, 16th. Not sure what happened to Les. I did not see it. Mark Allen, Bertel Surface, Ed Sutcliffe, Rudy Avalon. And there you go. There's your finishers here tonight. So we're waiting to see if anybody joins the Discord channel. Hopefully we get somebody in. If not, that's going to do it. So we might have one person to join, but we're waiting to see at least. But remember, guys, next week it gets a little bit mixed up because after we leave here, we actually head over to Sebring, fundraise there. Looking forward to being over there with them guys and doing that. So we'll have to wait and see. So we do got third place. Tommy, who joined and finished third tonight. Tommy, you got a copy? Oh, hold on just a second. I apologize. Tommy, you got me?
Yeah, man.
Third place tonight. Started third. This place was tough to pass and tough to make up a lot of ground. And honestly, I guess we can go ahead and call it a short track because it really is. It's 42-second laps. Talk about the challenges of tonight.
It did feel like a bull ring, man. It's quick. There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. So, you just got to hit your marks. I definitely missed mine a few times. I had nothing for our race winner, Ross. Man, he was, from the get-go, man, he put on a pace. And I was like, if I keep pushing it this hard, man, I'm going to end up putting it in the dirt somewhere in a fence. So I just had to, take what I could get. And then I knew I was hanging up. Let's see, who was that finished in second?
Brian, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I was holding up Brian some, and I didn't want to push the issue there, so I figured I'd just put him out there and have a rabbit to chase, and then me and Dave Hill went to battle. And so happy with the podium, but it's it's fun. I'll say that it keeps you busy.
Yeah, so I gotta ask you, man, because as I mentioned, this is a shorter track, I guess we could say, but we mix it up next week. We go to a track that a lot of people have been on, so the field should be pretty solid in Sebring. How do you feel about heading there, and do you like your chances of possibly getting a win?
I honestly don't care too much for Sebring. It's really bumpy, and you don't have a whole lot of confidence on throttle and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know the track pretty well, and as long as I don't make a really dumb mistake, I should have another podium finish there. But the field here is tight, especially. I mean, you get in the top 5 cars every week. I mean, it's any one of us, and our skill set's like, there's plenty of tracks that Dave Hill's a lot better than I am, and I'm more competitive at other tracks with him. But you get to some of these places, man, I'm just way off the mark. I feel like, and when I say way off the mark, I could be, a couple tenths a lap.
Right.
If you add that into about 30 minutes, man, that's several seconds.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have to figure it out, and you got to hit it.
Well,
if you don't, you're going to be left in the dust.
I'm sure that you're going to be fine. You usually seem like you're pretty good at these places, so I'm sure you'll figure it out, man. Have a good night. But anyway, any other shout-outs or anything you want to give out, man, before we get out of here?
No, just Patriot Fire, Northern Towing Equipment, Coastal Safety Auditors, and another great showing for Red Sox.
For sure, man. Good job tonight. Thanks, buddy. So that was Tommy finishing in third here tonight, as you see his name right there on the screen. Good run, though, guys, by everybody. That was fun. That's going to do it. I don't think we have any other top threes in here at the moment that I see, so that's going to do it for us. I hope everybody enjoyed the broadcast. It was fun. For guys on Facebook, make sure you tune in. I actually don't have the outro set for that, so y'all have a great night. We'll tell y'all take care, and God bless. Who are you? Just your name, sorry.
Hello,
Hello. What's your name inside the game?
Ross Booth.
Are you? Wait, no, you're not.
I am.
Why is your name Ross Booth over there on the other name, on the other side?
I just had to change it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I will get your interview next week because I didn't have no idea who you was. I apologize.
No worries. I realized like 2 minutes